So I just wanted to come online real quick and man, it's been it's been a rough night. But I just wanted to talk a little bit real quick about change. Cuz people don't understand how good change is. Change is great. Somebody recently said, "You changed, I didn't change." They said, "You changed, I didn't change." And I'm like, well, ain't that's what we supposed to do? Evolve? And I'm going to start off by saying I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. People know me, right? And I'm a very blunt person. And if you know me and you really know me, I'm straightforward. If I don't like you, you're going to feel that energy. You're going to feel it. You're going to see it. I'm not going to mess with you, be around you. You're going to feel the energy. Or I might even say it if you ask me. I just don't associate with people if I'm not, if I don't want to be bothered with them, I just won't associate with them. But I wanted to make a video today, right? And I want to talk about change, man, because, we as adults, we get so stuck in our ways and we don't want to change. Like, I don't hang with nobody. Like, my friends, the people that I associate with, we don't use the N-word, right? And I even check, and some of my friends might slip up, and I check them. They'll tell you, like, man, stop using the N-word. Or if they constantly cursing all the time, like, yo, you didn't curse like 5 times in a sentence. It doesn't make sense. As an adult, you gotta move different, right? And the thing about the N-word, well, let me start off by saying is I love black people. I love black people. But there's a huge difference between a black person and a nigger. Period. And again, I don't like to use the N-word, but when you talking, sometimes I guess to make it make sense, you got to put some emphasis on it, I guess. But yeah, I don't talk, I don't use the word just like general conversation, but I'm gonna use it today. So there's a big difference between a black person, a black person and a nigger. And for some reason, people can't differentiate the difference. A black person, black man or woman, they value, things. They value their life. They value, family. They care about family. They care about people. Black people like to do things, for somebody help, whether it's paying it forward or, helping people out any way you can, just holding the door, or saying yes, sir, no, sir. I never used to say that when I was young, when I was up north. And I say it sometimes, and it might be a young person like, did you just say sir? But like, what's wrong with that? I'd say yes, sir, and no, sir, to black people, white people, all different ethnicities. It doesn't matter who you are. It's just about respect. Now, a nigga, will rob their own family. They'll rob their mom. They'll disrespect their mom, or they'll disrespect their father. They'll talk down to their mother. When I went home, I have some family members, that, have niggerish ways. And I don't like it. I don't like it. White people can be niggers. If you look it up in a dictionary, it's going to say, somebody that's ignorant, right? So white people could be niggers. Indians could be niggers. All different races of people could be, niggers. And I like change. So when I came to Atlanta, I was still acting like a nigga. Please forgive me for saying it so many times. Trust me, I don't like the word. I despise the word. But So I still act, and walked and talked, and did stuff. I still had niggerish ways, right? So I started to evolve. Once I got into my, I want to say mid-30s, early 30s. It took me a little longer. It always takes men a little longer to evolve. But definitely once I got with my wife, she definitely changed me. I'm not gonna front. She definitely changed me. I started looking at life different. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change, and that's so true, right? So when I got with her, I stopped hanging around so many people, right? So many people that I was associated with in the past, right? So I said to myself, you know what? I used to, call women, sorry again, bitches, all the time. I used to always disrespect women. I no longer talk to women like that. When I'm speaking to a woman, any lady, women are queens, men are kings. So I talk to my, when I talk to my brothers, it's what's up, brother. As you know, I always say brother first. I never say what's up, nigga, and this and that, all that stupid nonsense. And I just wanted to, make a shift, because people do know my background. I put my life out there, right? I put my story out there, this journey that I'm going through. People know how I was in retrospect. And I'm changing, I'm changing a lot. I'm evolving, and I love it. So back in the days, when I was doing my dirt, I mastered selling drugs. I know this is stupid. It might sound dumb, but I was a smart drug dealer. I had about 15 white people, to be honest. And when I put a post up, one of my colleagues, Drew, I said in the post that he put me down with all his friends, a whole bunch of Italians. And I made a lot of money off them, They made money off me. And what I'm saying is I mastered the streets. I mastered how to make money, right? I mastered calling my brother, a nigger. I mastered stealing, robbing. All of the stupid stuff that I used to do, treating women like garbage, right? So I've mastered that. So I used to say to myself, let's go this way. Let's go in a different, direction and see if this will work. Because if this positive thing just might work, what if that works? Like, what if I stop calling all my brothers the N-word, all my sisters the B-word, and I stopped trying to, get over on people, because I was filled with so much toxicity, right? And that didn't work for me. It never works. You gotta understand how the universe works. When you put that negative or whatever you're doing in the universe, you make that your reality. And I say this all the time. I say this to my kids. I say this to, peers or whoever I'm, conversing with. I say it. So what I'm trying to say is change is good. And I'm not trying to disrespect anybody right now. Trust me, I don't want no beef with nobody. I just want to live my life. I want to enjoy my life. I want peace for all of us. I want abundance of favors and blessings. I just want to, I'm in my second stage of life. I'm 48, right? Your last stage is like 65, 70. That's not, we don't live that long, but I'm in my second stage. So I don't want anybody to get offended by what I'm saying. But on some real ish, I hate niggas. I hate niggas. I have family members that's niggers. They have niggerish ways, and I despise it. I love some black people. I have a special love for our people, because we always get, the lowest of the low. we stuck at the lowest, point, in life. Some black people are, and it's hard to get to that higher altitude. But I love black people, and I hate niggas, right? And again, white people could be niggas, Puerto Ricans, Italians, Indians and Arabs. Anybody can be and act like a nigga. I don't want to act like that no more. I don't act like that no more. When I see it in my vicinity, I just look like, ugh. Some people don't have proper etiquette. They bring that niggerish mentality to different settings, and I don't like it. Almost 50 years old, I despise it. Going into 2023, I'm gonna make a lot of changes. I'm gonna delete a bunch of y'all. I'm honest. I'm being honest. I'm gonna delete a bunch of y'all. There's people on my timeline my age still have niggerish ways. Make that shift. Change. There's nothing wrong with change. But some people still so comfortable, being the way they are. And they scared to make that leap. Just like in business. People are defeated because they scared to make that leap. They scared to change. And it took a woman, to, well, I'm gonna actually go back, right? I started changing, I didn't start changing when I was, in my adolescent years, but I started seeing things different, right? So my mom, she was damn near married to a white man, right? And we used to have, conversations, and even when we would go out shopping, and they was together for a long time. So every time we went shopping, he always paid the bills. He always paid the bill. Like for food, we go food shopping, and I would watch that. And I used to say to myself, one day I'm going to pay the bill. When I go shopping, I'm going to get older, I'm going to pay the bills. I saw that growing up. We lived in a nice house, a beautiful home. Well, before we moved to Roselle, New Jersey, we came from, a lot of people don't know this about me, but we came from the hood. We came from Jersey City. Most of my family still live in Jersey City. We lived in Jersey City for a long time, for years. And I got hit by a car, almost died. A lot of people, they don't even know that. They don't even know my story. They just know, people that, I used to hang with from back in the days, but they don't know how it all started. I came from Jersey City, and from there I moved to Elizabeth, Pass Manor, lived there for years. Some of my friends on, my Facebook page, they know me when I was living in Jersey City, and it was hard. It was rough, and then my mom met, the white dude, and he got us out of that situation, right? And they got together, and then we bought a house. So what I'm saying is I saw him all the time paying the bill, damn near paying all the bills. And I used to say, one day I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna pay all the bills. And then, fast forwarding, I'm getting older, I moved to Atlanta, and I did MMA for like 3 years. And my teacher, my Muay Thai teacher, he's on my Facebook page. I'm gonna shout you out, Jeff Perry. Great Muay Thai teacher, right? And I remember we got, we went out and we went to go watch a fight. I forget who was fighting, but I was so intoxicated and I couldn't drive. So I stayed at his house. And we woke up, and then he took me home. We had a nice conversation, right? And this is when I started to change, right? My thinking, it started off with, my mom dating a white dude, and I'm starting to see all of this stuff that he's doing for his queen. And then I'm in my, late 20s, and me and Jeff had this deep conversation, and he started talking about paying the bill, treating your woman like a queen. And he was like, I was like, so, you know, I started getting deeper because I want to pick his brain. I was like, so do your wife work? He was like, no, my wife is never going to work. I pay all the bills, right? He put emphasis on it. He's like, I pay all the bills. I pay everything. I pay the mortgage. I supply the food, everything. Then I was like, man, there's two white people that already told me what they're doing for their queens. Now, mind you, all of my brothers from back in the days, you know, my thug brothers, they wasn't talking to me like this at all. At all. And to be honest, I don't want to give this credit up to them. I'd rather give it up to my brothers. I want my father. I wish my father would have been like, you know what, this is how you're supposed to, you know, treat your woman. This is how you're supposed to take care of the home. This is how you're supposed to lead. I wish my father would have came at me like that. But white men came to me like that, right? So, I mean, do I fault them? No, you can't fault them. I'm thankful for the Creator allowing us to rub shoulders, right? Because my perspective changed. It was a shift when Jeff Perry kept saying, I do everything. I pay for everything. That was the second time. Now, fast forward to, I'm in my early 30s, right? And I get a job up in Mayor Electric. And I'm gonna shout you out, Mark Geddes. Mark was a mentor. And these white men don't even know that there was mentors in my life. They don't know that. I never told them that. I never even said thank you. And I'm saying it now, but Mark taught me how to drive a truck, literally. I worked up in Mayor Electric. I think I started up in there probably 1998, 2000 maybe. So me and Mark, we used team drivers. And we used to have long conversations. And I always like to get in people's head and just pick their brain. And Mark said the same thing. My wife don't work. I pay everything. That's what, one thing that he said to me, and it still resonates to today. And Mark, if you listening, brother, Mark said, he said that I pay all the bills and women will respect you more when you step up to the plate and lead. Not lead a woman to Macy's or buy their clothes or, you know, take them to trips. And to me, leading means making your life better. And that's what these white dudes did. They made their wives better. They made their wives' life better. Really, they made their wives' life better because, you know, they was able to contribute, you know, 100%. Just imagine if your man is paying all the bills and you might have a side hustle. You're stacking that money. You're saving that money, right? It's easier that way because, you know, there's no, you know, attitudes. There's no finances will mess up a relationship, you know. But if you making good money and you providing for your wife, she's going to respect that, right? And that's what Mark said. So, you know, these three white men, you know, I've learned a lot from them, a lot. And that's why I do what I do. And there's people out there, they don't agree with it. Like, oh man, you know, because these conversations come around all the time. You know, what do you pay? How should a man, you know, structure the home? How should the man pay all the bills? Should the man lead? Should the woman lead? And who do we go half? I don't believe in half. Like, my wife don't work. My wife she was in law enforcement, about 7 years ago. And we bought one truck. And the second truck, I was like, yo, I need help. So I didn't even give her an ultimatum. I said, look, what do you want to do? Right? And it was about 7 years ago, and I was making this shift. I was in an apartment. She was in an apartment, and I was trying to buy a house, the first house in Lawrenceville. I was like, look, I'm about to buy this house. Let's just see if this thing is gonna work. Let's take this leap with me. And then things was going great when we bought the house, and I bought my first truck, and then I bought the second one. And when I told her that, I need some help, you're going to leave the job. It's not an ultimatum. And what she said to me, she was like, I need you to lead. And that stuck in my head forever. It still sticks in my head. She was like, I don't want to have to ask my father for anything. And to this day, my wife never went to a mother or father for anything. Definitely not money. Definitely not money. So I, made a way to get myself in a position myself to lead. And that's why I do what I do. And if it wasn't for those white dudes that was constantly in my head, constantly, showing me how to treat your woman, your queen. Now, I don't know what dudes do if you're in a relationship, but even when me and my wife, we wasn't married when I bought the first house, we wasn't married. We was like still dating, we lived in that house 2 years, 3 years, then we got married, but I was still leading. And, it's all about, respect. It's all about, how it's all about learning how to lead, because some people don't know how to lead, right? And that can be detrimental in the long run, but, reverting back to, the N word, again, like I said before, I love my black people, but I hate niggas, and Kanye West said it, and I just don't like the way, people act when they have these niggerish ways. It's unacceptable, especially as an adult. And if you're not making a change, and, you in your, 30s, 40s, and 50s and still have these niggerish ways, it's going to be very, very hard. Like, very, very hard. People trying to call me. But, like I said, I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. I just felt as though that I need to, come on here and give my perspective on, certain things when it comes to, acting, in a negative way, or, disrespecting somebody. I don't know if this guy he look like he about to hit my truck. But yeah, I just, one of my close family members recently said that, yeah, you change. You don't even act the same no more. Ain't that's what life is about? Change? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with changing? What's wrong with wanting different? There's nothing wrong with that. Why do we gotta, keep talking the same and keep, disrespecting people? And man, it's 2023, and 2022 was challenging. It's still challenging. I'm still here. I see my truck right there right now. I'm just zoom in right there. We still here. We still here, man. I came to the yard to warm up my trucks because it's cold out, and I'm trying to preserve the batteries. So, but we still here, and I'm not gonna say that you know, it's extremely or, you know, lucrative, but it's not the way it used to be. But we still here. We still rolling, and it's challenging. Life is challenging. Business is challenging. That's why people don't jump into this space, because it's very challenging. But again, I know I'm all over the place, you know, but make the change, man. You know, it's corny, you know, when you stagnant, you know, when you're not evolving, you just stuck. It's lame as hell, especially when you old. I see guys on Facebook and Instagram still talking the same, still acting the same. At some point, it's corny. If you're old and you're still the same and you ain't changed at all, it looks corny. You know, you still, you know, you're not leading, not doing what you're supposed to do. I'm more of a traditional type of guy, you know, taking the lead spot and paying all the bills, like all the bills, not just rent or the bills. I'm talking about all the bills. I'm gonna always be like that. My wife ain't paying for a damn thing, period. I'm gonna be honest with you, and she'll tell you, she will attest to this, that when we go to the supermarket, if my wife pull out her Visa card, sometimes I get embarrassed, for real. You know, she'll pay for small things here and there. I'll let her do that because, you know, sometimes she want to do that. Sometimes she want to do that for me. But as far as the totality, I pay for all of that. You know, and it's going to always be like that. And I tell brothers, like, you know, some brothers will say, well, what if she making more and this and that? And I'm not, go out there and make more. Period. Go out there and make more. There's so many different, you know, ways you can make money in this country. It's crazy. There's so many different hustles. Legal, make sure it's legal. But, you know, again, I know I'm all over the place, but, you know, it's crazy. Maybe I'm cut from a different cloth. I don't know. That's, you know, that's who I am, you know, and help out people. That's why I get blessings. That's why I'm always blessed, you know. And I'll tell you another, I go a little deeper. A lot of people don't know that when I was in like my early mid-20s, I was going through it. Me and my kid's mom was going through it. And I have 3 boys, right? Jaden's my son too. You know, my wife, you know, obviously she had, you know, a son through another relationship, but he's my son. He called me dad, you know. I call him son, love him. But prior to them coming into my life, it was 3 boys, right? And I, you know, we did some genetic testing, did some blood work or whatever. Come to find out, and mind you, that I was taking care of these kids, you know, since they was born, right? Since they was infants. And then me and my, you know, my baby mom, you know, we started beefing, and then she wanted to do child support and this and that. And I found out that only one of them is mine, right? And I was shocked. I was distraught. I was depressed, you know, because I thought they was all mine, right? And the youngest one looked just like me, right? And he's my son. And I found out that the other ones weren't. And let me tell you something about me. There's something about my soul, right? I was involved in a relationship, right, with this woman. And this is way, 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 way before my wife. So she tried to entice me. Not when I came to the house, I showed her the results that the two of them wasn't mine. And she shook her head, and she tried to entice me not to continue to do what I've been doing. A couple of my friends tried that. Oh, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't be, you still spending money that those kids ain't yours. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, if I was in their space and I found out that my father wasn't mine, that wasn't my real father, and my father said, I don't want nothing to do with you, that would have killed me. It would have killed me. I might get emotional because, it's crazy how people are, But I'll tell you that nothing never changed. My boys came over my house yesterday for Christmas. They still call me dad. I still call them son. We still go fishing. We still do things. I still spend money. Nothing never changed. I couldn't imagine saying, yo, I'm not going to do this. I don't want to be bothered with you. It's just not in my heart. I still love them. They still come around. We spent like 5 hours yesterday for Christmas. And I love them. They're a part of me. I remember I had a conversation with Salim Hassan, and this when I was working at Cooper. And he was like, I told him my story, and I was like, I'm thinking about just backing off and not being bothered. And Salim was like, he's like, don't do that, because you're going to get older and you're going to need them, because you got 3 boys. Now you got 3 men that's going to help you, and you might need them. And I just, Salim probably was the only person that was, telling me, don't just abandon them. I think he's the only person. Everybody else was like negative. I wouldn't spend this money. My closest friends and some of my family members. And y'all know how I feel about my boys. I'm in their life. I'm in their life for real. Like for real. My oldest son got a CDL. He about to get his MC. He about to run his own authority. I'm about to train him how to drive a manual, because he got a CDL restriction. So the first week of January, I'm gonna train him to drive a stick, right? And eventually, he's gonna be running Shaw's truckload. And if the others want to do it, they're more than welcome. But the reason why I say this about not abandoning, I didn't abandon, those boys. The reason why I'm so successful and I continue, I continuously get blessed in favors is because of that, because of my soul. I have a different soul, man. I have a different soul. I love people. I help people, constantly helping people. And that's the reason why I'm still blessed and I'm still here. Because the Creator sees that. He sees my heart. My heart is solid. And a lot of y'all didn't even know that. Damn, 3 boys and only one of them is his. That's crazy. A lot of y'all didn't know that. But I don't know what else to say, man. Peace. Change, y'all.